With a confident smirk, Wang Han coolly inquires if the three armed men are searching for him. The muscular leader aims his blade at Wang Han, declaring that they are Brother Hao's men sent by Qin Hao. He accuses Wang Han of having an affair with their boss's woman, Su Qi, while another thug, growing impatient, urges them to stop talking and just break his legs. Unfazed, Wang Han simply inquires about their plans to address the situation. Furious at his arrogance, the thugs rush forward, hurling insults. The fight is brutally brief. Wang Han moves with astonishing speed, intercepting the first attack. Wang Han delivers a powerful kick to the thug's face, snapping his head back. In just seconds, two of the thugs lie unconscious, leaving only their dazed leader. The muscular thug stares in disbelief, questioning when the standards for delivery drivers had become so high, as he realizes his opponent is a trained martial artist. Unwilling to accept defeat at the hands of a mere delivery guy, he lets out a furious yell and charges at Wang Han with his machete. Wang Han effortlessly jumps over the wild swing and, in one swift motion, he delivers a devastating kick to the man's face. The blow sends the machete flying and knocks the thug to the ground. With all three attackers down, Wang Han stands among the scattered bodies. Lin Shuifu, who observed the fight from the top of the stairs, finally let out a terrified scream. The sound alerts the fallen leader, who, despite being defeated, remains conscious. Infuriated by her screams, he manages to rise to his feet and spots an opportunity, lunging toward the defenseless Lin Shuifu. Before she can respond, he seizes her and presses his blade to her throat, taking her hostage. He glares at Wang Han, threatening to kill her if he moves any closer. A frightened Lin Shuifu warns him that her grandfather will not hesitate to retaliate if he harms her. However, Wang Han remains completely calm as he gazes at the thug. With a chilling lack of emotion, he simply tells him to go ahead and proceed, disregarding the blade aimed at Lin. As Shuifu's throat tightens, Wang Han slowly approaches the panicked thug, taunting him and questioning why he hasn't followed through on his threat. As Wang Han presses forward with unwavering determination, he coldly inquires if the man is too frightened. The thug, sweating and trembling, screams for him to stop. In a flash of movement, Wang Han quickly closes the gap. Before the thug can respond, Wang Han catches the flat of the sword blade between his thumb and forefinger, halting the weapon entirely. He gazes at the thug with disdain and asks if he truly believes he is skilled enough to wield a sword in his presence. The thug is taken aback by Wang Han's incredible strength, realizing with dread that he is unable to move the blade at all. Wang Han continues to taunt him. With a swift flick of his fingers, he shatters the steel blade, sending shards of metal flying. The thug and Lin Shuifu stare in stunned disbelief. Before the thug can regain his composure, Wang Han seizes him by the throat, lifting him off the ground. He questions whether a foul, rotten shrimp like him is even worthy of facing him. Gasping for breath, the thug attempts to save himself by claiming to be a member of the powerful Black Dragon Society. Wang Han, unimpressed, dismissively asks, "So what?" before slamming the man's head into the floor. Suddenly, the thug regains his composure and adopts a new approach. He scrambles to his feet, begging Wang Han not to pursue a life of crime. This strange plea falls on deaf ears. Wang Han delivers a brutal stomp to the man's face, causing him to scream in agony as blood spills from his mouth. Desperate and broken, the thug begs for mercy. He pleads with Wang Han to stop, fabricating a story about having an elderly mother who was 80 years old. In a final, desperate attempt, he informs Wang Han that he has crucial information to share. Towering over him, Wang Han allows the battered thug 3 seconds for his last words. The man swiftly discloses vital information. Brother Hao, Qin Hao, has already set out to find Su Qi. If Wang Han doesn't act quickly, he will miss his chance. This news shocks Wang Han. Furious that the thug hadn't shared this crucial information earlier, he delivers one final vicious kick, knocking him out cold. Suddenly, they hear a loud knock at the door. A voice from outside declares that they are the police. realizing he must leave at once. Wang Han informs Lin Suifu that he is going to find Su Qi and is leaving the situation in her hands. He gives her one last instruction, not to reveal that he was there. As he rushes out, she encourages him to go, assuring him that she knows what to say. Moments later, 2 police officers entered the villa. The lead officer displays his badge to Lin Suifu and inquires about what occurred. As 2 police cars arrive outside, she starts to explain that she was in the shower when 3 men broke in with knives. After her statement, the police arrested the 3 unconscious thugs. An officer informed his captain that they had discovered 2 dead bodies. The snipers Wang Han had killed in the villa across the street did not appear to be ordinary individuals. Shocked, the captain ordered his men to take everyone and everything to the station for investigation. Meanwhile, Su Qi finds himself cornered in a bedroom by an enraged Qin Hao. He unveils his malicious intentions, recalling the time he drugged her drink and boasting that he will now force himself on her. A terrified Su Qi tells him to leave, but his rage only intensifies. With a final lunge, he vows that he is going to play her to death. Qin Hao is holding a struggling Su Qi down on the bed. She urges him to let go. He taunts her, insisting she can scream all she wants because no one will come to her rescue. With a sinister grin, he adds that the delivery guy is preoccupied with his own issues and that today he intends to force himself on her. As he leans in, a sharp slap lands across his face, sending a tooth flying. Qin Hao is thrown across the room, landing in a heap. In the doorway stands Wang Han, who gazes down at the fallen man and coldly remarks that he must be tired of living to dare lay a hand on his woman. Struggling to his knees and clutching his bruised face, Qin Hao angrily demands to know if the delivery guy is aware of who his father is. Unimpressed, Wang Han tells him that regardless of who his father is, he will pay for having a son like him. Furious, Qin Hao stands up, shouting that his father is Qin Gang, the wealthiest man in Jiang City, and that opposing him is a death sentence. He then charges forward to attack. Wang Han skillfully evades the awkward attack and lands a powerful kick, dismissing him as a loser. The blow sends Qin Hao crashing into a piece of furniture, rendering him unconscious. Wang Han then turns to a visibly shaken Su Qi and gently reassures her that it's all over now. He pulls her into a protective embrace as she expresses her gratitude for his presence. Holding her close, he reassures her that as long as he is by her side, no one will ever dare to harm her again. Meanwhile, the battered Qin Hao manages to rise to his feet and stumbles out of the room, shouting one final threat at the filthy delivery guy to just wait. With the immediate danger behind them, Su Qi looks up at Wang Han and asks for the time. Confused, he inquires about what's wrong. She mentions that she nearly forgot an important meeting at her company and asks if he would accompany her. With a warm smile, Wang Han readily agrees, promising to go with her wherever she needs. Su Qi and Wang Han pull up in a red sports car to a large modern corporate building. As they exit the vehicle, someone greets Su Qi, informing her that President Liu is already in the conference room. They walk in, and Su Qi apologizes to a woman in a business suit for her tardiness. The woman, President Liu, is actually Wang Han's assistant, Liu Yue. She is taken aback upon seeing him and nearly refers to him as young master, but he swiftly halts her with a gesture. Thinking quickly, Wang Han wraps an arm around her and pretends they are old classmates. This surprises Su Qi, who can't believe that Wang Han knows the influential President Liu. Su Qi comments on the coincidence, and Liu Yu nervously agrees as she is invited to take a seat. With everyone settled, Liu Yue is ready to dive into the discussion, and Su Qi agrees to kick things off. However, just as they are about to begin, the door swings open as Su Qi's grandfather, her father, and 2 other men from the Su family enter, eagerly fawning over President Liu and expressing their deep honor. They emphasize that for such a significant project, they cannot afford to be careless. A surprised Su Qi asks her grandfather why he is there, while Liu Yu greets him politely. The grandfather shares that he was so excited about the new district project that he hurried right over. His friendly demeanor disappears upon noticing Wang Han. He angrily questions Suchi about why she would invite an outsider to such an important meeting. Standing her ground, Suchi reminds her grandfather that, as the project leader, she has the right to choose whom she brings. This infuriates her father, Su Jianye, who yells at her, demanding to know when it became her turn to speak for the company. He belittles her, insisting she has no qualifications and ordering her to give up her seat for her brother and fetch water for President Liu Yu. At that moment, a smirking young man steps forward and introduces himself as Su Lei. He tells President Liu to discuss the project with him, dismissing Suchi by stating that she has no authority in the matter. Suchi attempts to protest to her grandfather that the project was assigned to her, but her father interrupts, shouting at her to pour the water. Finally, Suchi's uncle, Su Jinjung, delivers the final blow. He smugly informs Suchi that all company matters will now be handled by Su Lei, reminding her that she will soon be getting married and should know her place. As the Su family attempts to sideline Suchi, Wang Han finally intervenes. With his arms crossed and a serious expression, he questions their actions, reminding them that the project was originally assigned to Suchi. This infuriates Suchi's grandfather, who shouts at Wang Han to be quiet and questions what right he has to speak. Sula joined in with a smug expression, teasing Suchi about having a delivery guy as her boyfriend. He then informed his grandfather that he had heard she is also pregnant with this man's child. The revelation infuriates the grandfather. He points at Wang Han and commands Suchi to remove this low-class trash immediately, declaring that both he and his dog are banned from the company. Suchi defends Wang Han, arguing that it doesn't matter what he does since he earns his money honestly, and her grandfather has no right to insult him. Her defiance only fuels the old man's anger. Realizing the situation is futile, Wang Han rises to leave with Suchi, telling her family that they are shameless and reiterating his condition. The project can only be managed by Suchi. The grandfather confronts him, questioning what right a mere delivery person has to make such demands. Instead of responding, Wang Han turns to a nervous Liu Yue. He smoothly refers to her as his old classmate and asks for a favor. He explains that Suchi is his fiancée and insists that the project should be awarded solely to her. Under his authoritative gaze, Liu Yue reluctantly agrees. Suli is taken aback and attempts to argue, asserting to President Liu that Suchi is irresponsible and lacks knowledge about the company, insisting that he would be a better choice. However, Liu Yu, following Wang Han's instructions, disregards him and speaks directly to the grandfather. She asserts that her company will only collaborate with Suchi. If the Su family cannot come to an agreement, they will seek another partner. The grandfather is taken aback and requests to speak with her boss. Liu Yue delivers a final, crushing blow. She informs him that she has full authority and that he, as the patriarch, is not qualified. Harsh words leave the old man sweating and utterly speechless, utterly defeated and humiliated in front of his family. Suchi's father, Su Jianye, quickly shifts his approach. He tells President Liu not to be angry and assures her they will meet her demands, agreeing to place Suchi in charge. His father-in-law concurs, stating that as long as they secure the partnership, it's acceptable for Suchi to take the lead. Satisfied, Liu Yu declares that they will sign the contract today. Now in control, Liu Yu stands next to Suchi and sends the rest of the Su family away. She informs them that she and Suchi need to discuss the contract details privately and that they may leave. With no power to object, Su Jianye can only acquiesce, assisting his stunned father-in-law out of the room. As the defeated men exit, Su Lei attempts to voice his objections to his father, but he is swiftly silenced and escorted away. As the door closes, Wang Han smirks, reflecting on what a group of clowns they are and how they've brought this humiliation upon themselves. Meanwhile, Liu Ye professionally hands the contract to Suchi for review. Meanwhile, in a different office, an enraged Su Lei confronts his father, Su Jianye. demanding to know how he could allow that woman, Su Chi, to be in charge. When Su Lei attempts to ask their uncle, Su Jianjiang, to leave, his father intervenes, insisting they are all on the same side. He then unveils a startling family secret. Su Ji is not his biological daughter. Both Su Lei and Su Jianzheng are taken aback. Su Jianzheng questions whether his sister-in-law has been unfaithful, but Su Jianye sets the record straight. He explains that his wife, Yang Huaiman, could not have children, which led them to adopt Su Chi. He then expresses his frustration, stating that she has now brought shame to the family by getting involved with a delivery driver. A contemplative Su Jianjing inquires about Su Chi's biological parents. Su Jianye brushes off the question, claiming he doesn't know and assuming they are likely long deceased, having left her only a worthless jade pendant. Impatiently, Su Lei interjects, eager to hear his father's plan. With a sinister grin, Su Jianjing unveils his plan. He instructs them to wait while allowing Su Chi to take charge of the project for the time being. Once she has completed the hard work, he has a strategy to seize it from her. Understanding the plot, Su Lei nods with a confident, sly smile. Dressed in a suit and holding a cigarette, Wang Han approaches two security guards on duty and asks for a light. A heavier-set guard offers a lighter. Noticing Wang Han's formal attire, the guard assumes he is there for an interview, but Wang Han replies that he is not. Intrigued, the guard then asks what he is doing there. In a relaxed manner, Wang Han casually mentions that he is a delivery guy. The two guards erupt in laughter, with one joking that delivery drivers and security guards are lifelong rivals. Wang Han chuckles, but when he sees both guards become serious and stand at attention, he asks what's happening. Suddenly, the guards stand at attention. One informs the other that President Su has arrived. The heavier-set guard expresses with admiration that President Su is the most beautiful woman in the company, and seeing her every day inspires him to work. Wang Han scoffs at their overreaction to a woman. Annoyed, the guard tells him not to act so superior, reminding him that as a delivery guy, he is no better than they are. At that moment, an elegant Su Chi arrives. The two guards greet her energetically and respectfully as President Su. She acknowledges their efforts and informs them that she is going to get her car. As Su Chi approaches her red sports car, the larger guard is thrilled, bragging to his colleague that President Su spoke to him. Observing this, Wang Han questions whether such an exaggerated reaction is warranted. The guard approaches Wang Han, placing a patronizing arm on his shoulder. He offers some advice, suggesting that even as a delivery person, it's essential to have dreams. At that moment, Su Chi pulls up beside them in her flashy red sports car. Glancing over from the driver's seat, she tells Wang Han to get in. Wang Han bids farewell to the guards with a smile, assuring them he will remember their words and see them later. He then takes a seat in the passenger side of the luxury car. The two guards stand frozen, watching in disbelief as the sports car speeds away. They struggle to comprehend that the humble delivery guy they had just pitied has driven off with their beautiful and unattainable boss. As they drive, Wang Han notices Su Chi's joyful expression and comments that everything must have gone well. Su Chi agrees, crediting her friend Lin Sui Fu for uncovering the mysterious big boss behind the new district project. She adds that she is eager to thank this person. Amused, Wang Han encourages her to express her gratitude properly. He then shifts the topic, informing her that he has already contacted the Civil Affairs Bureau and they will register their marriage the following morning. Su Chi calmly agrees to the plan, but outlines her conditions. She only wants the marriage certificate to ensure their child has a father. After the baby is born, she will provide him with a monthly payment of 30,000. A surprised Wang Han asks if she intends to keep him as a paid companion. Sui Chi responds that he can think whatever he likes. With a confident smirk, Wang Han crosses his arms and retorts that if she truly wants to keep him, 30,000 is far too little. His response infuriates Sui Chi. She warns him not to push his luck, questioning how much a delivery guy could possibly earn in a month, and implying that 30,000 is more than sufficient. In her frustration, she slams her foot down on the accelerator. The red sports car races down the city street. They soon reach the entrance of a modern upscale residential complex. After parking, Wang Han steps out and leans against the door, teasing Suichi about how well she seems to know the route, as if she has already memorized the way to his home. Annoyed, she responds that with GPS, she can navigate anywhere. As they walk through the complex, Wang Han's phone starts ringing. He tells Suichi to hold on for a moment while he takes the call. Wang Han casually asks the old man on the other end what's happening. The man informs him that a shipment has been seized by the Black Dragon Society and that he needs to address the issue. He also mentions that a card has been left at Wang Han's doorstep to assist with the problem. Wang Han confidently agrees, assuring that he will handle everything by noon the following day. The caller then suddenly shifts the topic, asking if he heard correctly that Wang Han is getting married. This question shocks and infuriates Wang Han, who demands to know who leaked the information. The old man reveals that Ling Chen-yun was the source and accuses Wang Han of attempting to marry without permission. He continues his rant, questioning why Wang Han would choose a girl from the lesser-known Sui family over numerous wealthy heiresses. Wang Han attempts to de-escalate the situation and provide an explanation. However, the old man interrupts him, insisting that no explanation is necessary. Instead, he tells a horrified Wang Han that his older sister will personally question him the following day and that he should brace himself. Wang Han panics, pleading with the old man not to be so cruel and wondering if he can even survive her visit. But the call suddenly ends. Furious and stressed, Wang Han hangs up, muttering a threat to get back at the old man. Noticing his agitation, Suichi approaches and asks what happened. Quickly masking his turmoil, Wang Han reassures her that it's nothing. He places a comforting arm on her shoulder and tells her it's time to head home. They stroll back to his apartment and step into the modern living room. Upon entering, Suichi notices a white card on the coffee table and inquires about it. Wang Han casually replies that it's merely a gift card intended for someone else. Changing the subject, he removes his jacket and suggests that she must be hungry, offering to cook for her. Suichi quietly agrees. As he walks to the kitchen, Suichi sits on the sofa, holding his jacket. A small, satisfied smile spreads across her face as she reflects on how nice it is to have a kept man at home. In the apartment, Wang Han, wearing an apron, tells Suichi to take a seat, assuring her that he will finish cooking shortly. She expresses her gratitude. As he walks into the kitchen, he jokingly notes that it's no trouble for his wife and child, adding that he is, after all, a kept house husband. His remark leaves Suichi speechless as she sits on the sofa, wearing a faint, amused smile. The following day, the scene transitions to the Jiangning Civil Affairs Bureau. Wang Han and Suichi step out of the building, each proudly holding a red marriage certificate. Wang Han exclaims that he is now officially a married man. Suichi playfully teases him about his plans for the day, asking if he's going to deliver food. Wang Han brushes it off, joking that now that he's dressed nicely, he should go out and enjoy himself with a few young ladies. His response frustrates Suichi. She calls him hopeless and laments that, even as a married man, he still has a terrible temper. Turning on her heel, she storms off, telling him to do as he pleases. As she departs, Wang Han's playful expression fades away, replaced by a more serious demeanor. He believes that before anything else, he must focus on the task assigned to him by the old man. His mission leads him to a towering skyscraper, the headquarters of the Black Dragon Group. He stands before the imposing structure, ensuring it is the correct location. He reflects on the group's origins, remembering that the Black Dragon Society began as a local gang before evolving into what appears to be a legitimate corporation. Wang Han enters the opulent lobby of the Black Dragon Group, where two imposing men at the reception desk confront him, inquiring about his purpose. With his hands in his pockets, Wang Han confidently declares that he is there to collect a debt. The long-haired thug misinterprets the situation, believing Wang Han is a client. He assures him he has come to the right place, as debt collection is one of their services. Wang Han calmly clarifies that he is actually there to collect a debt from a man named Bal Di Lu. This statement infuriates the two men. They demand to know who this fool is, and whether he understands whose territory he has entered, accusing him of having a death wish as they both charge forward. The long-haired man launches a wild kick, but Wang Han effortlessly dodges it. The thug's forceful advance causes him to stumble to his knees. Before he has a chance to recover, Wang Han delivers a swift kick to his face. Noticing his partner in distress, the bald thug charges ahead and throws a punch. He meets the same fate when Wang Han's powerful kick sends him soaring. With both men defeated on the lobby floor, Wang Han stands over the conscious long-haired thug. His expression is icy as he calmly inquires if the man is now prepared to take him to see Bal Di Lu. The scene transitions to a lavish office where Bal Di Lu, the head of the Black Dragon Group, is unwinding. A woman with long purple hair leans over him intimately, playfully licking a drop of red wine from his chest. When he asks if it tastes good, she replies that it has a lot of flavor. With a smug grin, Bal Di Lu tells her that if she enjoys it, she can have more, promising to feed her until she's full later. She playfully calls him naughty. Their moment is interrupted when the office door swings open. A tattooed man named Wen Long rushes in, panicked, and shouts that someone has broken in. Enraged by the interruption, Bal Di Lu yells at Wen Long for not knocking, asking if he couldn't see that he was busy. He furiously declares that this is his territory and questions who would dare to barge in. Wen Long stammers as he attempts to explain, but before he can complete his thought, a body comes hurtling through the doorway. The man, one of the thugs from the lobby, crashes heavily onto the floor in front of Bal Di Lu's desk. Leaving both the boss and the woman stunned, his shock quickly transforms into rage. Bal Di Lu leaps to his feet, draws a pistol, and points it at the door, shouting for the intruder to reveal the audacity of invading his territory. A black object hurtles through the doorway following the thug. A heavy, ornate card embeds itself with a sharp thud into the desk before a stunned Bal Di Lu. Still gripping his pistol, he cautiously picks it up. His expression changes from anger to sheer terror as he recognizes the insignia, screaming in realization that it is a black card from the 10 Greats Association. From the floor, the battered thug Wen Long looks up in confusion and asks what the 10 Greats Association is. He learns that it is a fearsome organization composed of 10 powerful underworld bosses. At that moment, Wang Han enters the office, looking down with a calm, condescending expression. He remarks that he is surprised they have even heard of the association. The sight of Wang Han sends a wave of horror through Bal Di Lu as he screams out the title, Ninth Young Master, finally grasping who has come for him. In shock, he stumbles backward, losing his composure. As Wang Han enters the office with a calm demeanor, he is struck by the fact that someone still remembers him after so many years away from the underworld. Without hesitation, Bal Di Lu drops to his knees, bowing his head in complete submission, and asks what orders the Ninth Young Master has for him. In a striking display of the power shift, the kneeling gang boss respectfully offers a lighter to Wang Han, who coolly lights a cigarette. Taking a drag, Wang Han gets straight to the point, noting that he heard Bal Di Lu recently seized a shipment of goods. In a panic, the kneeling man insists it must be a misunderstanding. Wang Han gazes down at him with a cold expression, noting his audacity in daring to steal from the 10 Greats Association. While pretending to submit, Bal Di Lu vows to return the stolen goods at once. However, he secretly reaches for a pistol concealed in his waistband, readying himself for a desperate move. Aware of the deception, Wang Han remains unfazed. He gazes at the gang boss and delivers a chilling warning, asking if he has ever heard the saying, "When the black card appears, even gods and ghosts will submit." Driven to desperation, Bal Di Lu leaps to his feet, pointing his pistol at Wang Han. He shouts that since the Ninth Young Master won't offer him an escape, he cannot be held accountable for his ruthlessness. Before he can pull the trigger, Wang Han moves with astonishing speed, flicking his still-lit cigarette through the air. As Baldy Lu pulls the trigger, a tiny object strikes the pistol, deflecting the shot. Wang Han calmly remarks that he dislikes having guns pointed at him. With the threat neutralized, Wang Han picks up the black card from the desk. He raises it and coldly declares that everyone who has ever pointed a gun at him is now dead. In one smooth motion, he employs the sharp edge of the card like a blade, swiftly slashing it across Baldy Lu's throat in a deadly strike. The gang boss falls to the floor, dead. The horrifying sight sends the purple-haired woman into a scream of terror, while the tattooed thug, Wen Long, gazes in shock at the body of his fallen boss. The commotion attracts other gang members to the doorway, where they freeze in disbelief, shouting that their boss has been killed. Disregarding the chaos, Wang Han seizes the terrified Wen Long and offers him two choices: surrender the goods and become the new boss, or relinquish the goods and join Baldy Lu in death. Confronted with this ultimatum, Wen Long quickly makes his decision. He and the other thugs bow their heads in submission, pledging their unwavering loyalty to the ninth young master and disavowing any connection to their former boss's actions. Satisfied, Wang Han accepts their pledge and calmly instructs someone to escort him to his shipment, his mission now accomplished. Outside the formidable headquarters of the Black Dragon Group, a car pulls up and Qin Hao steps out, accompanied by a heavily bandaged thug on crutches. The subordinate nervously warns his boss to be cautious, reminding him that Wang Han should not be underestimated. However, consumed by rage, Qin Hao dismisses the warning, declaring that he will kill Wang Han today, no matter the cost. He strides angrily toward the entrance, shouting that he has come to see the leader of the Black Dragon Society. With a face contorted in rage, he vows that he will pay any price as long as the gang's boss, Old Lu, takes care of that obnoxious delivery guy for him. Meanwhile, inside the office, a new hierarchy is established. Wang Han stands before the gathered gang members and appoints Wen Long as the new leader. He announces that Wen Long is now in charge of the Black Dragon Group and promises a prosperous future to all who follow him. The other gang members quickly accept this. Addressing their new leader with respect, the team is interrupted as Qin Hao bursts into the office, calling out for Old Lu. He surveys the room, now under new management, and angrily asks where the old boss is. Confronting the new leader, Wen Long, an enraged Qin Hao dismisses him, insisting he is there to meet the former boss about a significant business deal. From behind the desk, Wen Long calmly informs him that Old Lu is no longer present and that he is now in charge of the Black Dragon Society. Embracing the change, Qin Hao congratulates the new leader and accepts his offer. He requests that they kill someone for him, offering a payment of 50 million for the job. Intrigued by the substantial amount, Wen Long inquires about the target. Qin Hao reveals that the person he wants to kill is just an ordinary delivery guy. Wen Long scoffs at the proposal, finding it absurd to pay 50 million to kill someone, and tells Qin Hao that he has come to the wrong place for a joke. Furious, Qin Hao insists he is not joking. He angrily explains that the delivery guy beat him senseless and stole his woman, and for that, he must die. Recognizing a lucrative opportunity, Wen Long is amused that his first major deal as boss has come so quickly. He calmly advises Qin Hao not to get worked up over a delivery person and assures him that he will handle it. Qin Hao insists on accompanying them as he knows the target's whereabouts and wants to witness his death. Wen Long readily agrees, promising to assemble his men and ensure the matter is handled to Qin Hao's satisfaction. With a confident gesture, he rallies his men, declaring that they will all assist Qin Hao in seeking his revenge. His subordinates respond loyally, "Yes, Brother Long." The scene shifts back to the XX Food Delivery Center, where Wang Han has returned to his job. Dressed in his uniform, he is welcomed by his co-workers, who note that he has been absent for several days and that the boss has been searching for him. Wang Han calmly replies that he will speak with the boss after completing a few deliveries. He lights a cigarette as his co-workers drive away, bidding him farewell. He sits on his red motorcycle, radiating cool confidence. As he drives, a black van suddenly swerves and cuts him off. The side door of the van slides open, and an furious Qin Hao steps out, brandishing a heavy metal pipe. He glares at Wang Han, smugly proclaiming that he bets Wang never expected to be found so quickly. Standing calmly, Wang Han gazes at his vengeful pursuer and acknowledges that this confrontation is somewhat unexpected. Blinded by rage, Qin Hao charges ahead, swinging the heavy pipe. He screams that he will make Wang Han kneel and cry. However, Wang Han remains completely calm as he effortlessly sidesteps the awkward attack. As Qin Hao stumbles by, Wang Han expertly flicks his still-lit cigarette, sending it straight into Qin Hao's open mouth. The unexpected pain and shock make Qin Hao cry out. Before Qin Hao can recover, Wang Han taunts him, asking if he was the one who wanted to kneel. He then delivers a powerful knee strike to Qin Hao's stomach. This was followed by a brutal elbow to his back, accompanied by a shout that he would make him kneel. The relentless blows become overwhelming, causing Qin Hao to collapse to his knees in pain. Humiliated, Qin Hao shouts at the tattooed gang leader, Wen Long, demanding to know what he's waiting for and reminding him that he wasn't paid to just stand around. As if on cue, Wen Long and his subordinates step out of the van, lighting a cigar with a smug expression. Wen Long expresses curiosity about whether all delivery drivers are as tough as this one. From the ground, Qin Hao issues a cruel command, instructing them not to kill Wang Han quickly. He wants him to endure slow torture, suffering a fate worse than death. Wen Long approaches Wang Han, placing a familiar hand on his shoulder and condescendingly referring to him as friend. However, the moment Wang Han turns his head, Wen Long's arrogant smirk disappears, replaced by sheer shock and terror as he finally realizes who he is facing. Reacting immediately, Wang Han angrily demands to know who Wen Long thinks he is calling a friend. He seizes Wen Long by the head and violently slams his face onto his own lit cigar, causing a burn. Standing over the terrified and injured gang leader, Wang Han taunts him, questioning whether he has become arrogant after just a few minutes as the new boss. Clutching his burned face, Wen Long stammers in sheer fear. Finally, he addressed Wang Han by his true title, Ninth Young Master, and frantically apologized, insisting he would never have dared to appear if he had known who he was dealing with. Utterly bewildered, Qin Hao disregards the title used by Wen Long and attempts to command him to attack Wang Han. Fearing that he might provoke Wang Han even more, Wen Long quickly shifts his aggression toward his former client. He savagely kicks Qin Hao, shouting that this is the fool who intended to attack. A powerful kick sends Qin Hao soaring, causing him to crash painfully onto the pavement. Wang Han steps on the defeated Qin Hao and issues a final, chilling warning. He tells him this is the last chance, and that if he values his life, he must never provoke him again. Amid his pain, Qin Hao stammers that he understands. Wang Han escalates the threat, reminding Qin Hao that Su Qi is his wife and warning him to keep his distance. He notes that this time, Qin Hao only suffered a broken hand, but next time, he may not be so lucky. To drive home his message, he grinds his shoe into Qin Hao's bandaged head, eliciting a cry of pain. With the situation resolved, Wang Han takes out his phone and grumbles about being late once more. Behind him, Wen Long and his men stand silently and respectfully. As Wang Han gets ready to leave, a bewildered Qin Hao manages to stand up. Still confused, he shouts at Wen Long, questioning why he couldn't even manage one delivery person. Wen Long turns to his former client with a grim expression. He tells Qin Hao that the man he refers to as a delivery guy is someone he can never afford to offend, attempting to convey the immense power Qin Hao has just challenged. As he continues his deliveries, Wang Han arrives at a dilapidated old apartment building. As he strolls down the dim, grimy hallway with a food package in hand, he remarks to himself about how run down the place is. He locates the right apartment and knocks on the door. The door is opened by a disheveled man with messy blue hair and a menacing expression. Wang Han professionally informs him that the total is 20 yuan and inquires whether he will pay with cash or a code. The man curtly responds that he will pay with cash. As the man fumbles for his money, Wang Han's expression turns suspicious, sensing that something is amiss. His suspicions are confirmed when he glances past a man into the dark apartment. In the background, he spots a terrified woman in torn clothes desperately trying to signal for help. She is being held captive. Before she can utter a sound, another man hits her on the head, knocking her down and telling her to be quiet. Upon witnessing this, Wang Han's demeanor shifts dramatically. The blue-haired man attempts to pay him off, angrily insisting that he leave and that the situation is none of his concern. He slams the door shut. Inside, the two criminals panic, realizing the delivery guy witnessed everything. One asks what they should do, and the other replies without hesitation that they should kill him. Left in the hallway, Wang Han places a hand on his head in frustration, muttering about the incredible bad luck of finding himself in such a situation.